Loni Anderson wasn't just a television icon. She was a devoted mother, a wife, a survivor of heartbreak, and a woman who lived her life in full color, both on and off the screen. Her death was announced on August 3rd, just days before what would have been her 80th birthday. She passed away at a hospital in Los Angeles after a prolonged illness. The world lost a star, and her family lost a beloved wife, mother, and grandmother. We are heartbroken to announce the passing of our dear wife, mother, and grandmother, the family wrote in a statement, a testament to the deep bonds Loni held with her loved ones. Loni rose to stardom in the late 1970s for her unforgettable role as Jennifer Marlowe on WKRP in Cincinnati. Her performance earned her 3 Golden Globe nominations and 2 Emmy nods, solidifying her place as a household name. But beyond the glamour of Hollywood, her personal life told a more complex and deeply human story. She was married 4 times, and each chapter brought its own joys and challenges. Her first marriage was to Bruce Hasselberg in 1964. It was brief, but during that time, she welcomed her first child, a daughter named Deidre. Though their relationship didn't last, motherhood became one of Loni's defining roles. Her second marriage was to actor Ross Bickle. The couple was together through much of the 1970s, a period when Loni's career was reaching new heights. But as her star continued to rise, the marriage came to an end in 1981. That same year, she met someone who would dramatically alter the course of her life, Burt Reynolds. Their whirlwind romance captured the attention of Hollywood. They married in 1988, and soon after, adopted a son, Quentin. On the outside, they were a glamorous power couple, but behind closed doors, their marriage was turbulent. By 1993, Burt announced their relationship was irretrievably broken. What followed was a highly publicized and painful divorce. Years later, Loni would reveal that the marriage had been marked by emotional and physical abuse. Incidents, she said, were often fueled by Reynolds' drug use. She also shared that he failed to make consistent child support payments. It wasn't lollipops and roses, Reynolds admitted in an interview years later. It was a really dumb move on my part. Despite the turmoil, Loni acknowledged he had been a major part of her life for over a decade and admitted she would miss his laugh after his passing in 2018. After Burt, Loni found love, not in the arms of a fellow celebrity, but in a familiar face from her past. In 2008, she married Bob Flick, a founding member of the folk band The Brothers Four. What made their union especially magical was that they had met 45 years earlier, at a movie premiere in Minneapolis in 1963. They posed for a photo that day, not knowing their paths would one day lead back to each other. When they married on May 17, 2008, they used that old photo to decorate their wedding cake. When we met, May 17, 63, the inscription read, "It was a romantic full-circle moment, marrying on the same day they met." Nearly half a century later, Bob Flick wasn't just her husband. He was her partner, her peace, and her home. As a musician, Flick had a lifelong career with the Brothers Four, composing and performing music, while Loni remained a symbol of grace and strength for generations of fans. Their love story was quieter than her previous relationships, but perhaps more powerful in its authenticity. It was proof that second chances, even third and fourth chances, can lead to the truest kind of happiness. Loni Anderson was a mother of 2. Her daughter, Deidre, and son, Quentin, were central figures in her life. In fact, it was Quentin who walked her down the aisle when she married Bob Flick, a beautiful reminder of how closely Loni held her family. She is also survived by grandchildren Megan and Mackenzie, her stepson Adam, and step-grandchildren Felix and Maximilian, a testament to the family she built and loved deeply. Though she lived much of her life in the public eye, Loni never let fame define her. She spoke openly about her struggles, her mistakes, and her hope. She advocated for women's rights, and after enduring an abusive relationship, she became a voice for survivors of domestic violence. Her story is one of resilience, of a woman who endured heartbreak and found healing, of a star who shone on screen and off, of a mother, a wife, a survivor, and a legend. Loni Anderson's life was more than a series of headlines. It was a rich, complex tapestry of love, strength, and reinvention. May she rest in peace. In memory of Loni Anderson, 1945 to 2025, if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 or visit the hotline. Org, you are not alone.